Welcome to Whisper Tales, where every whisper hides a nightmare. 99% of you guys are just watching but not subscribing. If you love spine-chilling horror stories that keep you up at night, then hit subscribe and join our dark journey, because the next tale might be about you.
Morning didn't come. Liam opened the blinds expecting sunlight, but outside was darkness. Not night, not storm, just void, an endless, black expanse, like someone had erased the world beyond his windows. He checked his phone. No time, no date. The screen displayed one word. Between he dropped it and backed away, heart hammering. The world outside had ceased. Or maybe it had shifted. He had shifted. His apartment felt wrong now. The walls bent in places they shouldn't. Doorways curved where they used to be straight. Shadows no longer obeyed light. This wasn't his home anymore. It was something else's. 11:58 p.m. Even in the void, time still moved toward midnight. He didn't receive a voicemail this time. Instead, the TV turned on by itself. Static. Then his own face appeared, eyes black, mouth twitching unnaturally. The screen, Liam spoke. You let it in already. You've just forgotten. You opened the door once, and now it lives inside the silence between knocks. Time's looping, over and over, and every time you open it a little wider. Liam screamed and threw the bat at the screen. The TV cracked, sparked, and died, but not before one last whisper crackled through the static. Go to the attic. Liam didn't have an attic. His building didn't even have crawl spaces. But he walked the hallway, palms pressed to walls, eyes scanning for something new, something hidden. And he found it. At the far end of the hall, where there used to be nothing but a blank ceiling, there was now a wooden pull-down ladder. Dust fell as he stared at it. Something inside him screamed, "Don't." But another part, deeper, quieter, said you've been there before. He pulled it down. The ladder groaned. The attic smelled like burnt wood and old breath. It was pitch black, save for a single hanging bulb swinging slowly in the center. Under it sat a dusty reel-to-reel tape recorder. Wires like vines twisted around its legs. The tape inside was marked with a Sharpie. Liam, play me. He stepped closer. A mirror stood beside it, draped in cloth. He pressed play. The tape word clicked, then began to hiss. A voice emerged, his own. This is Liam Mathers, day unknown, cycle unknown. If you're hearing this, you've looped again. The knocking always begins the same. The warning, the voices, the rules, but somehow you keep answering. You never remember doing it, but you do. The more you open, the more it remembers your shape. Eventually, it becomes you. Silence, then more static, then screams, his own screams. The tape kept playing, crying, knocking, doors slamming. Then, it's not just one of them anymore. It's you. It knocks from the inside now. The tape cut off with a final click. He stared at the recorder for a long time. Then he turned to the mirror and pulled the cloth off. He didn't see his reflection. He saw another Liam, hollow-eyed, blood running from his nose, face twitching with unnatural tics. And behind that, Liam, something moved. A silhouette, black, featureless, but familiar. It reached out, and the mirror cracked, spider-webbing from the center outward. Then the Liam in the mirror grinned and whispered, "Knock, knock." He bolted out of the attic, down the ladder, back into the shifting hallway. But now the apartment was wrong in new ways. Photos on the wall showed a different man in his place, a woman beside him, a child. He didn't know them, but they were labeled Liam plus Rachel, 2017, Rachel plus Eli. Halloween. Our first house. He didn't remember ever being married or having a child, but the faces stirred something. Memories he didn't recognize, but felt. A birthday party, a swing set, a little boy laughing, a woman humming in the kitchen, and a knock at the door, 3 knocks, then screaming. The TV turned on again. This time it played a home video. Him. A little boy on his lap, a woman behind the camera. They were laughing. Then, 3 knocks on the front door. He looked at the camera and smiled. I'll get it. The video glitched. The next frame, blood, screaming. The boy was gone. The woman was sobbing. And Liam, older, stood at the doorway, frozen in place, as something black stepped past him into the house. He had opened the door. It hit him like a lightning strike. You answered once, you just don't remember. The loop. The memory loss. The gradual collapse of time and space. It wasn't just haunting, it was a punishment. He had let it in, years ago, in one version of this life, maybe even the original one. And now, it wore his face. Liam stumbled backward and fell to the floor. Behind him, his phone buzzed. A new voicemail. He crawled to it, hands shaking. Unknown number. One new message. He hit play. You can't outrun what's already inside. Each time you try to fix it, you loop. Each loop erases more of you. Soon, there won't be enough of you left to resist. So go ahead. Answer the knock. Let it finish what you started. 12 a.m. The knock came. But this time it didn't wait. It knocked once. Twice. Then the door creaked open. On its own. Liam screamed and slammed it shut. He braced his body against it, forcing it closed. A shadow loomed on the other side of the peephole, shifting, stretching, multiplying. Hands, dozens of them, scraping, grasping. They pushed against the door. He pushed back. Then, a whisper directly in his ear from behind. You left the bathroom window open. His eyes went wide. He ran. The bathroom was empty, but the mirror now dripped black fluid and scrawled across the glass. The door wasn't the only way. He didn't sleep. Couldn't. Every room now had a knocking point. The fridge, the floorboards, the vents, and always, always the same message. Let us wear you. You already belong to us. Answer, and it ends. Day 3. He didn't know how long he'd been in the loop, but something changed. The void outside began to move. Shapes drifted past the window, faceless, long-limbed, impossible. One of them looked back. Then it knocked, on the glass. Knock, knock, knock. And the glass didn't break, but shuddered, like it had a heartbeat. His phone lit up. Not a voicemail this time, just a live video call. The name? Liam, me. He answered without thinking. His own face appeared on screen, bloodied, eyes gouged out, but his mouth still moved. You will open it eventually. You always do. And when you do, I finally become real. The call ended. He threw the phone into the wall and screamed until his throat bled. That night, he made a plan. He would burn the door, destroy the threshold. Maybe that would break the cycle. He poured lighter fluid across the frame, soaked the base, stood back with a trembling match. 11:59 p.m. He struck the match. The knocking came. Software, childlike. A small voice whispered from the other side. Daddy, why won't you let me in? He froze. The voice. It sounded like the little boy in the home video. The son he didn't remember. Eli? He whispered. Silence. Then a sob. It's cold out here, Daddy. Please, I'm scared. His hands shook. The match burned down to his fingers. He dropped it. The fire never lit. He collapsed onto the couch and wept. He didn't know what was real anymore. The rules were broken. The time loops frayed, and the knocks were starting to come from inside his head. He heard them even when covering his ears. When he closed his eyes, he saw himself knocking, smiling, patient, waiting, and then the final voicemail. It came at 12:03 a.m. This is your last chance. Next time the knock comes, you either open the door or it opens you. The knocking started earlier this time. 11:45 p.m. Liam sat in the center of the living room floor, surrounded by a circle of salt, candles flickering at the corners. He didn't know if it would help, but something had to. He was running out of time, out of memory, out of self. Outside, the sky remained void. No stars, no moon. The world had vanished, or maybe he had. The apartment was collapsing inward. Doors that never existed now lined the hallway. Each time he blinked, they rearranged. The kitchen flickered in and out of view. The bedroom stretched like a hallway to nowhere. Gravity felt thinner. He had begun floating in his sleep, and the knockin' had changed, too. It no longer waited for midnight. It no longer knocked in threes. It pulsed with his heartbeat. Each knock now felt internal, as if something inside his chest was trying to get out, or in. He hadn't eaten in days, hadn't slept in longer. When he closed his eyes, he saw doors, endless, some open, most not. Behind each one, himself, in different forms, bleeding, smiling, dead, and always knocking. 11:59 p.m. The floor vibrated. The candles flickered violently. A voice came from every direction, low, croaking, familiar. This is where you opened it last time. Where you always open it. Stop fighting. The resistance only feeds me. You are the door now. He rose shakily, salt scattering at his feet. The circle broke. The shadows cheered. The front door creaked, but didn't knock. It was waiting. He approached it slowly. His fingers hovered over the knob. And then, a new sound. Not a knock. A heartbeat, loud, wet, inside the door. He stepped back. The door pulsed like flesh, bulged slightly, then receded, like something breathing behind it. His phone rang. He didn't look. He knew what it was. He answered. Hello? No voice. Just the sound of his own breathing on the other end. And then, you're ready now? Click. He laughed. Not because anything was funny, but because it was inevitable. The knocking had always been a question. And eventually, every question demanded an answer. He walked to the door, placed his hand on the knob, paused. A final thought crossed his mind. What if I already opened it, and everything since has been after? What if this is the inside? But then the door opened, on its own. No more games, no more waiting, just blackness beyond the threshold, thick, cold, like an ocean of tar. He didn't want to enter, but he didn't move. The darkness stepped into him. It was liquid. It crawled across his face, down his chest, around his spine. His limbs seized, eyes rolled back. He heard thousands of knocks all at once, a symphony of fists against wood, glass, bone, soul. We knock because we are locked out. We knock because you locked us out. But now you have invited us. We wear what opens us. He fell backward, hit the floor hard. Blackness crawled down his throat. He tried to scream, but the sound was absorbed, eaten. His body twitched. A memory surfaced. The little boy, Eli, screaming. A birthday balloon drifting across the floor, the door creaking open, blood, his own hands opening it. Then forgetting, choosing to forget, looping. He woke up in his bed. Sunlight poured through the window. Birds chirped. His heart raced, but not in fear, in confusion. Had it all been a dream? The knocking, the voices, The void? He sat up slowly. The apartment looked normal, bright, clean, safe. He heard humming from the kitchen. He rose, walked barefoot across warm wood floors, entered the kitchen, and froze. A woman stood at the stove, humming a lullaby. Familiar. She turned to him and smiled. "Morning, babe. You slept like the dead." His lips parted. Nothing came out. She looked just like the woman from the photos. Rachel, and next to her, sitting at the table. "Hi, Daddy." A boy, maybe 5 years old. Eli. He almost collapsed. Rachel poured him coffee. "Rough night?" He nodded slowly, numb. "Yeah, just a bad dream." "Well, you're home now," she said, brushing his arm. "You're safe." He looked at them. Too perfect, too still. The light felt too warm, and the clock on the wall. It blinked 12 o'clock. Not a.m., not p.m., just 12 o'clock, frozen. His eyes darted back to the boy. Eli smiled, and softly, softly whispered, "Knock, knock." Liam dropped the mug. It shattered. Coffee spilled, but it wasn't brown. It was black. Thick, oozing like ink. The lights flickered. Rachel's face twitched again, then melted. Not literally, but like a mask folding into itself. Eli stood slowly, his eyes now empty sockets. They both spoke in unison. "You opened a door. Now we are all inside you." The kitchen stretched outward like a tunnel. Darkness on all sides. Liam screamed and ran, but every door led back to the same kitchen, same smile, same knock. Eventually, he stopped running. There was no escape, no exit, because the knocking didn't come from the front door anymore. It came from inside his chest. He was the house now. The doors were his ribs. The walls were his mind. And behind each one, them. His voice, his wife, his son, the one he never really had. Or maybe lost. Or maybe became. Now, he sits at the window, every night, waiting. When midnight comes, he hears the knock. Sometimes at the front. Sometimes behind his eyes. He doesn't answer anymore. He can't. Because someone else lives in the skin now. Someone who did answer. Final voicemail. The phone rings one last time. This time, it's not unknown number, it reads. From. Inside. Liam doesn't pick up. He's gone now. The voicemail plays itself. You are not the first. You will not be the last. The knocking continues, and through whoever opens the door next. So tell them. Tell the next one. No matter what happens, do not answer the knock after midnight.